still and continuing time of pandemic. We are so lucky to be able, those of you who opt to do this, to work from the comfort of your own personal studio at home, or to choose to come here and work in person at the library. Today, we are continuing our study of artists of Hispanic heritage, because we're actually coming up to the end of Hispanic Heritage Month. I think the official end date is October 20th. We are going to honor this week and next week artists of Hispanic or Latino background. So our artist for today is Diego Velázquez. Velázquez was a Baroque artist. He was born in the 1600s, and I believe lived into the early 1700s. But we are now going to look at some biographical information about him. Then we're going to look at images of his work. And I'm hoping today that Bill, our model, will come to pose for us. If Bill, for some unforeseen emergency reason, does not come, I have brought for the people here at the library pictures from magazines that you may work from. Those of you at home, I encourage you to either look on your computers or through your house for images of people's faces. We are going to be focusing on portrait work today. All right, and I wanted to let you know about that in advance so you could start thinking about where you could find those pictures. We're up to 21 participants today. Good morning, Sally. Thank you for coming. All right, so we're going to go into share screen mode. And I'm going to put...
Liz, one more question. One more quick announcement. 2:30. We have another Wellness Wednesday program that's going to be on Zoom for meditation, relaxation.
Nice.
You want to tune in? That's free. That's being presented by a social worker from RWJ.
And that's today or tomorrow?
Today at 2:30. It's on the calendar too, if you want to link, but they go to that link at 2:30 from home or their cell phone. You can get them in. That's awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. 2:30 today at the library. There is a wellness program, meditation and relaxation activities. It is free. You can do it via Zoom, or you can come in person here. Oh, so sorry. It is only on Zoom. So we all need some time out, some time to focus solely on ourselves during this time of anxiety. I recommend you check out this class if you can. 2:30 today, go to the library website and they have to register, correct?
Yeah.
And register. All right, back to Velázquez. Oh, and Laura had a great recommendation last week, but I failed to do this. I should, while talking about the artist's life, I should have pictures available for you to look at. I didn't do that for this week, but hopefully by next week, I will do that. It's a great idea. But I'm going to whip through the biographical background of Velázquez. There's a lot to be said about him, but I want us to get to our drawing session so that we can do our own work. But Velázquez was born in 1640. He did not make it to the 1700s. He died in 1660. He was a Spanish painter, although there is some disagreement, but it seems he was probably born in Portugal. Good morning. And possibly to Jewish parents or grandparents who converted to Catholicism because at that time it was the safest way to survive. But it's a little hazy about his personal background. So he lived in Spain. He was the leading painter. He became later in life the leading painter in the court of King Philip IV of Spain and Portugal during a period of art in Spain that was considered the golden age of art. It is the Baroque period of art throughout Europe from 1600 till 1750. The Baroque period of art, we've talked about it in the past, but it bears repeating. The Baroque period of art was a very ornate, romantic period of art where artists referred back to ancient Greek and Roman traditions, but they made it a lot fancier. There was a lot of use of gold in their paintings, very rich, dark colors, and a lot of embellishment. People who sat for portraits were often in very ornate costumes with a lot of trim, etc. So he did scenes of historical and cultural significance. And the thing I want to focus on today when we look at his work, and hopefully during our lesson today, if we can set up the lighting appropriately, is something called his Tenebris style. And if you see here, I have highlighted the word. This is kind of a controversial word in art criticism circles. Some people call it chiaroscuro, which is an Italian term. Chiaroscuro is a broad term that means the use of light and dark in paintings. Tenebris refers to a style that is about drama in paintings, where the light is so dramatic that it creates an image that knocks you over. It's frequently referred to as painting by candlelight. And when we look at Velázquez's paintings, I think it's going to be evident that he really employed this drama in his imagery. It's controversial because some people prefer the term chiaroscuro to tenebris. It's, getting down into the weeds of art criticism. It's not something that you have to worry about. He did millions of portraits of the Spanish royal family. That's how he made his living. He even became a knight. He had to kind of fudge the history of his family in order to be granted knighthood. And that's where the interesting thing about his Jewish heritage comes into play. It seems that his grandparents were possibly Jewish, what is called conversos, where they were observant Jews at home, but they converted to Catholicism so that in public they would be safe. He grew up in very modest circumstances. His family was not wealthy, and he was apprenticed to an artist named Pacheco at a very early age. He's one of these childhood geniuses. So it was recognized when he was quite young that he was highly skilled, particularly in drawing. He was apprenticed to Pacheco. Pacheco was not a very good artist, but many people got apprenticed to him. And Velázquez learned a lot from Pacheco, not just artistic skills, but Pacheco was a very well-read, erudite, intellectual man. And Velázquez learned a lot about history and literature through this man. And that informed Velázquez on the subject matter for paintings that he did later in life. All right, that's pretty much the story of Velázquez. He lived and worked in Madrid. His work is shown all over the world. really the Prado in Madrid, if you want to do a pilgrimage to see his work, that's where you want to go. Alice, have you been there? And what did you think? Were you wowed?
But Las Meninas was much smaller. I expected this enormous painting, and when you actually see it, it's a lot smaller.
Kind of like the Mona Lisa. People always assume the Mona Lisa is going to be huge, only to be disappointed to see that it's like 8 by 11. It's so tiny. Interesting. Thanks. And here is Bill. Perfect timing. Our model just arrived for those of you at home and here. All right, so his paintings did refer to history and also frequently were about the Spanish royal family. He did spend several years in Italy, in Naples. This period definitely influenced his style. And then another interesting thing about Velázquez, and this is true of many artists we've looked at and discussed, as he aged, his style became looser and his brushwork became thicker. There was more evidence of impasto. And you may see that in some of the pictures I put up on the screen today. He was a huge influence on artists who came after him, including people like Picasso, which you would not really think would be inspired by someone like Velázquez, but there are many Picasso paintings that are direct references back to Velázquez. Okay. So he started out, you know, not very wealthy, but boy, he did pretty well in his life. He's one of those artists who actually managed to do well. Okay, he is buried in Spain, if you're interested. Let's look at his work, shall we? Here's one of his most famous. I, unfortunately, as usual, don't have all the titles. Alice, maybe you can be our expert today. No pressure. Have you seen this one, Alice? This is a detail of a portrait of the Spanish royal family.
It might be from Las Meninas.
I think it might be. Remember what I said about the lighting, the tenebra in his work, the tenebra style. Look at the dark, very dark background, and then the spotlight on the child's face, the lace on her gorgeous dress, and the bright white light on her hand. This was what he became famous for, and you will see it often in his work. And when it comes to chiaroscuro, you want to look for artists like Caravaggio. He is often considered to be the father and master of chiaroscuro, although there are many artists, including Rembrandt, who employed chiaroscuro to great effect. I'll put those words in the chat later.
I love how he was able to create a volume of that skirt, the bottom of the dress.
Right. Right. Heather is saying how much she loves how Velázquez created the volume of the child's skirt. And he did that by using shading. I am actually going to review shading techniques with you in class later today. it is very important, particularly in portraiture. If you want your portrait to look realistic and 3D, to be able to capture this contrast between light and dark. Notice the dark shadow underneath the child's chin against her neck, the shadow cast by the hair as well, and how it is a little bit darker around her eyes. The eyes are set back into the skull. So the light is going to cast a shadow around the eyes. The side of the face is slightly darker on both sides. Around the nose, it's in shadow. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, Heather. Must have been incredibly uncomfortable, this dress, right? Every time I look at this painting, I think, poor kid, how much she probably hated being dressed up like
Can I
this.
just add one more thing about this?
Yes, Lily.
I'm sorry, because you know me and my family.
Yes,
I love that he's made the highlight to show that it's velvet,
yes.
and also to the idea of a child wearing that dress, all of that embroidery is metallic metal thread. So it's intensely heavy. Never mind the whole understructure to make the dress be coupante. I mean, she's standing like this because she's probably corseted in there too.
Just the facade, maybe just the front and somebody's.
Oh, maybe it's not even a complete dress. It may just be a front. You walk in. But Lily just shared, this is so interesting. And welcome, this is a new person just entered our class, Eileen. Welcome to our class, Eileen. We're talking about Diego Velázquez. Lily was wowing. She was impressed by the way Velázquez uses this Tenebris style to show the highlight on the velvet fabric. That really makes it look real, doesn't it? And then she shared with us that not only is this dress probably uncomfortable for this poor child, probably weighed a ton, because all of this silver finery on it was probably made from metal thread. So it probably was excruciatingly heavy as well. Poor thing. They probably didn't let her drink any liquids for days before she put this on, because going to the bathroom would be impossible. They might have had a servant who stood underneath her with a bucket. All right. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Pat.
I'm trying to pick another painting that looked like a mom because the dress are very similar.
Yeah, that's a detail of a much larger portrait of the entire royal family. I want to find another one with really dramatic highlights. Let's try this one. So again, the Tenebris style is to have these very dark backgrounds with the very bright spotlight to dramatize the scene. And that really, really enables the artist to bring the features into sharp focus. This is another artist. This might even be a self-portrait, sorry. It's a self-portrait. Oh, Alice thinks it's Goya.
Look, clothing isn't the right theory.
You think the artist is Goya and not Velázquez?
painter, yeah, because the clothing is not, I don't think it's worth.
Oh, controversy.
It looks like we're 18th century clothes.
You're right. So I put up, Lizzie, bad news. So that wasn't a Velasquez painting. I got called out, guys. Lizzie's fired. What?
Probably, Goya was probably influenced by.
Well, they're both Spanish. Did we do Goya this cycle of Hispanic artists? Oh, I put him in the wrong folder. Alice, slam dunk. Good for you.
But like, Picasso and Goya, one of the fucking
I don't know, but they saw Velasquez's work and they definitely were inspired. Oh, I hope this is Velasquez. Now I'm worried. Yeah, I think this might be Goya also. Now I'm worried. What?
He painted all those terrible Spanish people.
So you think this is Goya, not Velasquez? Oh, gotta stop the share on this one. Well, here's a close-up of that little girl. So we know this is Velasquez. It's a different outfit, same girl. Notice his incredible attention to detail. This is also a detail of a larger painting. And apologies for showing the wrong artist before, guys. Look again at the beautiful lighting. Notice how shadow is the mechanism for showing three-dimensional form. Look at the shadow in her torso, around her torso. That's what makes her look real. It makes her look as if she's got form and not a flat thing on a flat surface. All right. So here's what I want us to do. And I invite you, since I'm now a little uncertain of the other images that we have, I don't want to make the mistake of showing you the wrong artist.
We have our experts in there.
We do, but I am also sensitive to the time. So what I want to do is have folks get the following materials. You're going to need paper. You're going to need at least a number 2 pencil. If you want to use charcoal, that would be great. And today I'm encouraging folks to use pastels. If you have soft pastels, get some of those too. Those of you who are here at the library, I brought in some new pastels. So there should be enough pastels to go around. We're going to get Bill set up in position. I would prefer you draw from life, but those of you who would prefer, you can work from pictures. And I will be doing a demo probably before. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a demo for those folks who need review in the techniques of shading. I'm going to be doing it with pastels. So those of you who want to see how to do shading with pastels, you can watch me. And those of you who want to just draw Bill, you can go ahead and draw Bill without watching the demo. Everybody get that? So let's take a couple of minutes to gather up our materials. Those of you who are here at the library, please get your stuff. And I just realized this is going to be a challenge camera-wise, Laura. Maybe I can't do the demo while we're focused on Bill.
Are we gonna spotlight them?
I want to spotlight him. People here at the library, we are going to dim the lights, so make sure you're in a comfortable location and you have everything you need to get started. I don't want anybody tripping over wires.
All right, spotlight. We're getting one spotlight for him?
Well, let's see how it looks. We want to make it as dramatic as possible.
One idea on these chairs over there.
Are you suggesting that we sketch in the park?
I'm sorry?
Are you saying we don't sketch in the park?
No, I always recommend that you start lightly in pencil first and then switch to pastel or charcoal, although those of you who are experienced with pastel and charcoal, you can start with them. It's up to you. Ladies, we're doing portraiture, Penny and Tamara. So if you can't see his face, you can look at the screen,
I'll move my chair.
Yeah, she can.
or you can always move. Folks at home, just bear with us. We're getting set up. I'm gonna leave the camera here because I need to get my supplies for the demonstration.
So he wants to, you're not gonna have him facing the screen, right?
Not stand up.
You gotta turn around, correct? Put his back to everybody. I think you should switch, no?
Let's do the lighting and then we'll discuss.
Gotcha. High tech stuff. Watch.
And that's why you made the chairs. That's a
Yeah,
good
trying
idea.
to-
Do you want this other extension cord? Yeah, this one kind of flops around.
Thank you. Like some bro. Thank you.
I'm gonna get paper.
Non-union, no
You're not supposed to be setting up the light.
Yeah. Like some bro, where all the songs. 76 trombone. I hope she's not gonna hit your eyes, but she won't look into your eyes.
I think am I
See, you
gonna
don't
be?
like it here. That's
There's
bad.
the spotlight.
There's a spotlight.
When
I'm not a Russell Crowe.
I remember once I took a break from my job at Northern Hill, and I walked into the store and Angela Lansbury was singing she was singing some Christmas song. No, on the monitor.
With the cup in her hand.
She just, her energy is just.
Amazing. Huge, a legend, right?
folks who are here in-house, if you are sitting in a position where you cannot see Bill's face, make it so you can see it on the TV
Bill, I think we could
screen.
get you in a
So
lower and I can use the
don't
light
panic.
to your advantage.
And if you're able to, you can always move.
Because I don't want to block yours. Can you see, Penny? Are we doing, we got something happening here?
How can I do the demo?
What can you gonna do a demo while that's happening?
That was the plan, but it
Well,
may not work.
But we can switch cameras. But the problem, the people at home are gonna see you at one moment and then, oh, because I'm focusing on, I can't zoom in. If I had a second camera, which I don't.
Could you use my phone?
Yeah, you can log
Then I'll
in.
get
Can you log into the Zoom session with your phone? I'll go into your email and get yourself in. I guess you'll have two.
All right, why don't we start sketching Bill?
You want me to set the lights down? a little
Yes,
lower?
please.
The lights are gonna go down if you wanna let us know.
We're gonna start. People at home, can you hear me?
This way is right on.
If you can hear me at home, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, so we're not set up to do the demonstration yet, unfortunately, but we're gonna start sketching Bill. Do the best you can. Remember the rules about proportion of the human face. Our new participant, Eileen, the human face is an oval. That's all you really need to know, and it's symmetrical.
Thank you, Laura.
The same on both sides. The human eye is way bigger than we realize, everybody.
Bill, is that in your eyeball?
It is, but it's not bothering.
No, it shouldn't be.
We're doing portrait only, and I would prefer that you work from life and draw Bill. No, we're just gonna go right in. We're not gonna do, good question from Heather. We are not gonna do any
How does that look?
line contour.
I can't see it.
It's a little too dark.
Wait, one at a time.
See it on the screen.
Oh, we haven't put it on the
Oh,
screen
okay.
yet. I'm asking everyone in the room.
The table gave too dramatic lighting.
Excuse me, can I converse with Laura?
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
little too dark. We
Okay.
need a little more light on his
Okay,
head.
okay, got it. Better?
Yes.
Higher?
Is it in your eyes, Bill?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Well, it's not in your eyes.
Well, you might have to grin and bear it.
Okay.
Is it hurting your eyes, Bill?
No.
That's all I want to know.
Bill, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, this is
You
better.
want my hand somewhere?
No.
I'm okay, I can't see my work.
But maybe if we can, where is Laura? Can we put the room lights up a little bit so people can see their sketchbook? Are you okay, Sal?
Is that good enough?
That's good. That's helpful.
Sally, we're focusing on shadows today, okay? Try, see, this is good now. Laura, this is good.
All right, I just want to see if I can help that. No. Etsy, tell me, not me, Etsy.
Esty.
Oh, Etsy, am I blocking the light from your iPhone now? Yes or no? Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Thank you, Laura.
She's amazing.
Like my theater. I've been training.
3 cheers. for
I didn't
her.
have a dress rehearsal. Good? Okay, thanks.
I know, everybody, thank you for bearing with us. I hit Laura with this very early this morning. Yeah, this is perfect now.
Thank you for your patience.
And then I'm gonna log in. My phone, it's already muted. So there shouldn't be any feedback.
The spotlight will be right there, Bill. And then you have to go in.
How long are we sketching?
For as long as you need at this point. There are, this is,
You heard that, Bill?
It's comfortable.
appears there's no one at home working. All right, those of you at home, we're not doing any quick sketching, just draw. Start lightly in pencil first. In a moment, I'm going to try and do the demo for you. Okay, Laura, it says you're going to let me in soon. So Laura has been working magic here. Oh, I can admit myself. Should I do that? No audio, correct? There it is. Okay, folks at home, we're trying to set up a third camera so that I can do the demo while you're looking at Bill. Oh, good. People have rejoined us at home. So we're not doing any blind contour or short, fast poses. Just keep drawing. Yep. I don't know where you are. Right, I have to go to participants. You're the library.
It's the heart. I have two.
Oh, okay. Heart.
That right?
Yeah, it's not letting me spotlight.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Who's going?
So I think we're gonna make this 15 minutes. It will be 11 o'clock when we finish this pose. Bill needs a break every now and then. We cannot just keep going forever. Yeah, so Laura, I see you, but I don't know how to spotlight you. Maybe I can spotlight you from the phone. Okay. Oh,
I'll fix that at the break.
this is so exciting working out all these
Mhm.
technological things.
People at home? Let's see. Check in with them, Liz, to see if it works for them.
Are you seeing Bill, everyone at home? You're all drawing, so I'm assuming yes.
Okay, now they are. That's Doris. She said she can't see.
Who can't see?
Doris?
I see Doris drawing.
Oh, okay, that might have been a delayed response.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. As we see the screen, the spotlight's kind of in the stardust thing, I don't know if it's okay, it's just great.
Yes, it looks good on the screen. I'm putting the two terms I was using earlier, chiaroscuro and tenebris, for those who are interested. And I'm going to minimize this. So, oh, hi, kids. Everyone at home, the kids are walking through again. All right, so now that we have, hi. We're doing art.
So Liz, you have your phone?
I do.
All right, so.
And see me and Bill at the same time. Blocking the light. And I can't stand it. So here's what we're gonna do for the demonstration. When Bill takes his break, I will do the demonstrations.
But I did.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's great.
Everyone at home, Bill is gonna take a break at the top of the hour, and I will do the shading demonstration then. So we're good to go. Let's just relax and do our art now, please. You're doing full figure, that's cool. Do it.
Oh, you want to just put this?
You're doing portraits. Yeah. Portraits. If you're doing a full figure, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all great skill practice. Keep going. Love your color choice. If you're doing full figure though, I would recommend using a large piece of paper. But that's up to you. Or you've got enough to show. And it's 1, 2, 3, so both shoulders come up a little bit. Yes, ever so little. I'll move the shoulder. But who cares? That's one of those who care. Watch me, watch me. Don't look at your paper, look at me. Guys, remember head lengths. But from the shoulder to the elbow, it's full head length. Our arms are really long. More back. Curvature of the jacket. Yes, very good. I like it. This curve. So the mask is right up here. This one, yeah, right up here. Yes, very good. So what time is it? Bill, you've got 6 more minutes. You good? It is kind of hard to see your face. I don't know what to do about that. Everyone at home okay? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, everyone. Shoot, how do I make this go away? Everyone at home is good, right? Nothing in the chat, so I'm assuming we're all copacetic. Seem to have lost one person. It's probably my mistake about Goya. Chase that person away. I am not an art historian. I must repeat that over and over. And I never claim to be. That's our wonderful Dina. Dina is the art historian. But it's difficult. Actually, you see, what my nephew is the way the copy is. It's very tricky. I'm not gonna start defining that. Makes it face through. Now I keep it dark. The shortening is good. Yeah, just did it, redid it. So you can go bigger. So, well, remember the hand is as good as the face. You know, the bigger it's a curve. Look at the shapes of the fingers. They're rectangle. From joint to joint is a rectangle. Some smaller, some larger. Yeah, you got it. This shoulder may. Oh, don't worry about it. Sorry, I couldn't. Yummy. Oh, good. Big layer. Oh, I'm so glad. That makes me. And another thing you might want to do. Shadow. You can really do what you have. It has a kind of geometric, very sharp edge to it that I like. You might want to play with it. Done. You never listen to me say that, but I love it. It's the way it is. I would start keeping that back. Keeping dark. Yeah. Oh, wow. This is so great. It needs a vacuum. It needs a vacuum. Okay. Yeah. Love. I like it. It's a frame. Yeah. Geometry of the side, if there's some way you can make it stronger. Here. Yes, yes, and this is perfect. And then oh, you mean up the front? Maybe a little wider than the torso. But can you see this part of this one? I can put it in a little bit. Yeah, and I would put it so there'd be a nice pop of color for you. Yeah. So I think we've probably gone over time. Just give us one more minute, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is beautiful. But don't touch it. This is beautiful. Just the way it is. Give them a little more hair. Okay. Well done. Yeah, you're doing the shadows great. Exactly what I want you to do. This is still too deep. You want to soften it. It's not so sharp. It's more of a soft curve. Like that. Not like the, yeah. Okay. One more minute, Bill, literally. You have 1 minute left.
He left you a chat.
Something in the chat. Thank you. That was also a Goya. Oh, gosh.
No, that was the same one. She was giving you the name. To tell you.
Oh, it was a portrait of Goya by Velázquez.
By Portana.
Okay.
Portana. Of Goya.
Oh, by Portana. Who is Portana? Never even heard of him. Well, see, this is interesting. It really shows how you have to be very careful on the internet because you can be fed a lot of false information because when I typed in Velázquez, those were probably images that I was sent. So they might have been contemporaries of Velázquez, but they weren't Velázquez. And it was actually a portrait of Goya circa the time of Velázquez, but not painted by Goya. And not painted by Velázquez.
That's another plug for public libraries. Always know the source.
Yes. All right, Bill, your time is up. While Bill is stretching, thank you, Bill. Great pose.
Oh.
While Bill is stretching, we're going to put the camera on me, please, Laura. And maybe we should turn out the spotlight. Sure. And raise the lights a bit. Should I move the table or you want to move the camera?
I'll move the camera. it's easier.
You sure?
Yeah.
So we probably should have done this first. Our best laid plans of mice and women often get discombobulated.
We can't see.
And folks at home, can you hear me? Yeah, you do. Perfect. This is perfect. All right, we're just gonna check on the volume and then I'm gonna do a quick demo.
Can everyone at home hear Liz?
Sally, I'm gonna do a demonstration now. Okay, you wanna watch me?
If you guys can give a thumbs up if you can hear Liz. Oh, they can hear her. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Okie dokie.
So I am going to demonstrate now how to use shading in a portrait, and I'm also going to use pastel. So it's kind of a combo of how to do shading and also how to use pastels for shading. Here we go. The human face is an oval. I'm starting lightly in pencil with an oval outline. I am putting my very pale guideline for where the eyes go. Another guideline for the bottom of the nose. And one for the mouth, although I unfortunately can't see anybody's mouth today.
You want me to pose in front of you, Liz?
You're taking a break.
One time I break.
Okay,
How about like right here?
so I'm gonna now try and draw Bill. Kind of blocking. Watch the TV screen if Bill is making it hard for you to see what I'm doing. So, very sketchy. Eyebrows. Those of you who don't want to watch me, you can now draw Bill. This is actually how we could do a demo while you're posing. We just figured it out thanks to Bill. Here's his mask. I'm not going to do a finished portrait. That's my goal, is just to show you how to use shading. Here's his ear.
It's stretching.
Oh, okay. You said you were done.
Oh,
Why?
I'm sorry.
No, you can do whatever you want. I just thought you were in pain. I was worried.
So that was with, that, who was it with the paint? Goya? Was that the Goya where we showed feelings?
Oh, yeah, that was the emotive. I love Bill has fantastic eyelids. I hope people have noticed these
Oh, thank you.
eyelids. All right, so here's the basic shape of the Bill head. The generic Bill head. All right, shading. Here's a tool, guys, that you might want to have. Can everybody see this? This is called the stump. It is basically paper rolled up into a tight, stiff little package. it's perfect if you don't want to mess up your fingers. And it takes the place of your fingers when you're trying to blend to create shadow. The thing to remember about shading is start light. Always start with light value. It is much easier to go from light to dark. If you start with the darkest shadow, you're going to be in trouble. So start light. Now, the colors I've chosen to use, and basically because there wasn't anything left, you guys took all the good colors, which is fine. I have a kind of a brown, a very pale green, and red. If you remember, I think it was just last week, we did a review of color mixing. Red and green, complementary colors on the wheel. They are a great combination for making colors that are neutral and in the grayish brown family. And that's why I chose them. So I'm going to start with my lightest value color first, which is this pale green. I'm going to fill in most of the space because at the moment there's no dramatic lighting and he's pretty light in value. Here's how you can use the stump. It's a rubbing tool and you can use it to blend the pastel. You can use the stump to blend pencil, graphite, and charcoal. My favorite blending tool, though, are my fingers. So I'm going to put the stump to one side, and I'm going to blend with my fingers. And the most shadow on Bill's face at the moment is around his eyes. So I'm going to now go to this reddish brown color. And very little bit of the brown, I'm going to put it on the inside of the upper lid because that's where it's darkest. I'm blending it into that pale green. I'm going to do it top and bottom. Just see how I'm just put a touch of that darker color, not a lot. And I'm blending it. And on this side, it's even a little bit darker. So I'm going to add more. This paper that I'm using is a little bit hard. When you're using pastels, you want a soft textured paper. You're lucky enough to have paper specifically for pastels. You might want to use that today. I'm already seeing that this space I have between the eyes is too big. Instead of panicking, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little more shadow on this side. And on this side. And instead of going to black or gray, which some of you might immediately want to do, to darken the intensity, I'm going to start using some red. To define the form. add a little more green. So it's a light green. Wish I had a dark green. And so on. I'm building up the darks and lights. Yes, please. Thanks. Perfect. Just a tiny bit of dark green here. Gonna help me make the shadow darker. Green, make that brownish gray. There's a little bit of shadow on this side of his head. So I'm going to add a little bit of red, start working it in. This is a beautiful thing about pastels too. It's going to remain on your finger. So it's already a little bit brown. And a little bit of green to darken, and a little bit more red. And blending them together. And I am modeling almost as if I'm working with clay. A little shadow on this side of it. You can start to see that a three-dimensional form is emerging. It's red. I'm going to add a teeny bit of green. I'm also making the shadow conform to the shape that I'm working on. So this side of his head is curved. My shadow is following the curve of his forehead. And so on and so forth. Enough, everybody?
Yeah, but still has to stay exactly as forever.
Here I'm going to make it very dark. Inside of the upper lid, it's very dark. There is a disadvantage to having brand new pastels. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, folks, but when they're hard edged, you can find it a little bit more difficult to blend. You have to break them in. You want the corners and the edges to be worn down. Then they're really cool to work with. So lashes here, so you can make this part a little bit darker. Do not have the right color for the color of his eyes, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But you can see that the face is starting to be formed, all in just a matter of minutes. Brows. gonna stop and check the time. See how folks at home are doing and if there are any questions. And we're gonna get Bill probably to pose in a new pose. I didn't hear what you said, Laura. I still didn't hear you. So deaf. Oh, blocking her name.
Okay, so we're gonna switch over to Bill, right?
Yeah, so we're gonna switch the camera back to Bill now, everyone. Yeah, with the spotlight. Janice, hi, welcome. There are way more chairs. Oh, thank you, Tamara.
Let me get the spotlight.
So a bit of rearranging. Those of you at home, please bear with us. It's 11:18, Bill, so we'll do another 15-minute baby. And Janice, we're focusing on doing shading today.
Okay.
We looked at some work by Diego Velázquez, who was the master of dark and light. Thank you, Laura. Boy, Laura, we're really making you sweat today. Should I turn off the camera on my phone or it doesn't matter?
How's this pose, guys?
I'm coming to look, Bill. Everyone at home copacetic? Not seeing any complaints? Oops, we lost one more person. People able to see their paper here? Yes. The light behind is too bright, Laura. Thank you.
See what we can do in 1 o'clock.
Is she still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe tilt it down a little if possible. That's kind of nice. I'm tempted to black out the screen. However, some people here might want to draw from the screen. Like Janice probably can see better on the screen.
Is that what your people are home?
Yes.
Yes. I will leave it, right? Everybody happy?
Yes.
Okay. Try it.
Where's the other spot?
On the floor, it's my back. So
She's used to it.
they have most of the fabric and the profile is hidden, so. You want me to move it?
No, I guess it's all right.
Good. Many of you are starting the intensive first. I always recommend that. You guys have to look at this. Yeah, notice how long his arms are, very long.
Last time we
forehead length.
she said we're supposed to do the face. So I did.
That's really today. Love that. Bring it. Beautiful pose.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yes, we have done the class just on hands. People whined and cried the whole time.
Oh, we could use like a whole year of hands, I think, and then we'd still be starting now.
We could do a whole month just on color mixing.
I think one of the
Yeah.
highest paid photographs is the pictures with the two stands. I'm sorry, I don't remember the story. Black and white pictures.
Or is there any progress on the prospect of the afternoon?
Yeah, well, progress means you're engaged, knowing the feedback.
Okay.
And they're in the middle of this strategic planning process,
Yeah.
so I think that will surface. As a plan, what's having.
Keep filling in the feedback forms. Get one from where before you leave.
And I'll send email, I think I'll email you the electronic documents.
But I mean, like filling it out over and over again?
Persistence, I mean, it's not all that data will be collected, but, with the strategic plan underway, like focus groups and planning,
Yeah.
it's on the list, so.
Yeah.
So appreciate your patience.
Well, yeah, that's why I just asked.
Also, this construction
Yeah.
schedules, the space is pretty packed in terms of the live programming. So a lot of people want this space because it's one of the few spaces we have. So we're locked in for quite some time, right? In this larger program.
That's great.
What time do you use it? Two, for one.
We started at
1 to 3.
1 to 3, so like a lunch break in between.
Yeah.
I used to eat here. I used to sit out and garden and eat, although eventually they made me go upstairs to the staff one.
Okay.
And I ate there. The beauty of that was we could do more creative. We did a lot of work with clay and showing. We did more craft oriented things because we wouldn't have to clean up.
Oh, so you would extend it.
And then things that needed to dry.
Oh, okay, so you left the space alone, had lunch.
Just left everything where it was. You good, Bill?
Yes.
How many minutes is this call today?
15 minutes, so we have about 4 more minutes to go. And then we're gonna end, Bill, with an extended 20, at least 20-minute pose. Everyone at home fine? Nothing in the chat? I think I prefer that we skip sharing today because we had a lot of technical fidgeting and fussing. So I'd rather have more time to draw today. If you're having a problem at home or here, just make me aware of it and I will give advice. Not like the letter V. Like the letter U. Not like the letter U. And not going so far. That's what's making the problem. Okay. And keep this on your list. But the other thing is this. Yes, that's it. Yeah. Very not good. Now, yeah, I think it has a little bit too much green in it.
Oh, yeah, we were wondering, is that our pastel?
I don't know where they came from. The beauty of my classes is people dumb things. Light value. Not a lot of them. Have it described. one more minute on this pose. I don't know if you care, but sort of standing up there. Okay, so we're gonna stop this pose. It happens. Sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes we clutch up in the beginning, and sometimes as we get more tired during class, we clutch up at the end. And you shouldn't be angry at yourself. It's just what the human body does.
I have a, I did it,
Drink heavily.
yeah.
Did you get up and take a walk?
Yes,
You come back and you're fresh.
get up,
After
Just
a break, I'll be right back.
wiggle your shoulders, anything to loosen up your muscles. It's a good thing, the right thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just doesn't work, and that's okay too. We're not gonna be 100% on all the time, every day. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't as exciting as the first.
There's some secret here. It's a better way to go.
This is good, Vic.
I tried to go for this.
Okay, I'm gonna walk past your phone.
Oh. The shoulder really is off.
Yeah.
You don't need this line at all. The shoulder's off. Oh, really? I was gonna talk to Esty and I just suddenly boom, I have to do this. Oh, yeah. No, thank you. You're fine.
Pose.
Yeah.
Red.
Really? Smart, lavender.
Try to minimize like 30.
Spotlight, yeah. Yeah, it was a nice photo. This is good one.
What was you in another one?
This one is bad.
And the torso.
Are you focused
It's a bit, it's a bit long.
I think it's a teacher.
But I like it. You can give him more hair.
Okay. How many is this?
Right, so everybody at home, good? We're gonna do one final long pose where if there's no objection, we're gonna take a pass on the sharing today. Because we were doing a lot of moving and furniture shifting and shaping today. I'm gonna look at the lighting on this in a minute. I may change it slightly. I like this pose. Are you comfortable, Bill?
Sort of.
Yeah, well, you want to get comfy.
That's pretty good for Bill.
So you're good?
I'm good to go.
Because it is now 11, almost 11:40. I would like to take this all the way to the end, if there is no objection. Oh, wait. Oh, Vanessa, sorry. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one. Thank you.
You too. Send me JPEGs like always, please.
I will.
That goes for everyone. Many of you do send me JPEGs. I'm happy to email you back with advice. Many of you don't, but it's my job to offer advice. So please send me images of your work. Take a photo and send it. I'm going to put my email address in the chat again for everyone. You can email me the picture. I might not get back to you immediately, but I will get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, let me go over here. I might tweak the lighting, everybody. Nice on the back of his head. So this is a long one. Take your time, start lightly in pencil first. I don't want to pull your eyes. In your eyes.
Well, it's part of my life. One the close class. That's good.
Alex, this is going to go on. But you want the stool, Bill, for your elbow,
The stool for my elbow?
for your left elbow?
You mean this?
Yeah.
I'll try it. I guess if I was staring at the bowls, that would be dangerous.
No.
Are you gonna go into that? Oh, you went? Was it fun?
Going around the mountain.
My husband and sister don't.
Good. Much better. I'll take a massage. Perfect. Could you tell me? No, no, true.
Bring it down. Because it's distracting. Been ready some days. Oh, that's good. Nancy, shut up. But that's so untrue. How are we doing at home? Oh, we're now down to 9 people.
I have a little question.
Absolutely. Lizzie, go ahead.
Going back to the pastel demonstration, that blending tool you said is paper.
Yes.
So after you blend something, do you peel the paper?
No.
Oh, okay. Do
If
you
you
clean
want-
it?
It's really difficult to clean the stumpy, but you can always get a plain piece of paper and rub it on that until it's a little bit cleaner. You need to buy a whole collection of them.
Uh-huh.
And then you can maybe put them into color categories.
Ah,
But excuse me 1 minute, there's someone here who seems to need my help. I'll come
Okay.
right back to you.
no rush.
Yes, sir. She just left. She'll be back in here. Oh, you're the time clerk.
Yeah.
There with the black baseball cap and the orange. Second from here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing that. Oh, sure. Very popular with you. So Lizzie, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Oh.
So are there any like known artists that do pastels?
Oh, gosh, I'm sure there are. No, I think you mean contemporary artists, right?
I can offer Nicholas Parfit.
Any of them, because do they last long? Like,
Oh, you,
over time?
Yes, you need to use something that is produced by Golden Paint. It is called acrylic varnish. Here, I'm going to put it in the chat. Golden acrylic varnish. It's the only thing that will fix pastels permanently.
Hmm.
There are fixatives that you can purchase, but they won't fix pastels permanently. Whoops, Heather turned me on to using baby oil, but that's with oil pastels, not soft pastels. So baby oil will fix oil pastels, but not soft pastels. Soft pastels, the best product to use is golden acrylic varnish. It's pricey and you should only spray it out of doors or in a well ventilated location because it's has a pretty bad odor. Or wear a mask or both. No, the length is great, but it's a little wide. So I will it's long. Let's look at this, shall we? Look at the side of his neck in relation to the edge of the collar. There it is. That'll help you. A little bit more quiet. It really looks like this. This may be a little too big, but you can worry about that later. Yeah, I would cut some of that. Yeah, maybe an inch. Yeah. Yeah. It's flat and then all of a sudden it isn't anymore. Wow. So let's see if we can. I'm gonna come close to your face, Bill, but I'm not gonna touch you, okay?
No.
Wow. It's like an eye length of flatness and then the curve again. Like this. I hate when you go to the eye doctor and they go, don't blink. And they put that friggin' thing right in your eye. I don't know. if that helps. This feels a bit, well, not too far out from me. Maybe not. But here's your ear, and the edge of its tail, right at the ear. Yep. Also finished, but you didn't listen to me on this one, and it came out great. I can't do another. Yeah, you break apart. Picture. Smart, so it's a gift to know when you're done. Most of us don't. And we keep going and we ruin it. Yeah. I just don't, I can do anything. Yeah, I mean, but frequently we don't do that. Yeah. Which I noticed this earlier. This is really, the thing that we're showing today is it's actually bigger than the mask is too small. And it's throwing off everything else. I'm trying to figure out how to make you see the size. Wait. I'm gonna come close, but I'm not gonna come. So this straight line, Shirley, look. It's the same length as this ear. So it's big. It's very big. But your ear is too small. No. First one was it. But yes, it's good. But that's what's throwing me off. When they ask us way too small. And that's not changing the proportion of everything else in the picture. Look at this relationship, Shirley, look, the ear to the mask on the side there. So what I would recommend in the last few minutes is I would turn that picture over and just, I'm trying to focus on the head and the nail. Don't worry about the eyes or any of the details. Just focus on the size of the head and the nail. See what you come up with. All right. So one more minute and then we're going to stop. Oop, 3 chats. No, how do I read it without it taking up the whole screen? I don't know. Robin had to leave. Okay. Again, apologies for my art history error on the misattribution to naming the artist of that painting when it was really not Velázquez. So these things happen. It's really a wake-up call to being very careful when you use the internet. You have to really cross-check your references. 30 seconds, Bill, and we're going to call it a day. Well done, everyone. Woohoo! Fantastic work today. Please send me JPEGs. And Bill, we are done.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Is next week the last class in October? Let me check.
Yeah, the 31st.